Well, hey there, everyone. Hey, what's up? How you doing? It's me, Jamin, and welcome to Review Week. It's a review series on my channel where I review stuff. So today we're gonna look at Loki. Loki is a Disney Plus series, and it is currently has one season, and we're gonna talk about that season. So this is a series review for Loki, and I'm gonna spoil the shit out of it. So if you don't want to have spoilers, then leave and come back. But I will say that I enjoyed Loki a lot. I think it's a good show. I have my problems with it. We'll discuss the review, but I think if you like the Marvel stuff, I think it's worth checking out. So there's a recommendation. If you just come for that, then I do recommend to check it out. I think it's fun and interesting. So all right, let's get into the show. Okay, so first things first. When Loki was announced, I was not super thrilled about the show because, I mean, it's Loki. You know, I didn't have that much interest in him, but I think it was announced like before Thor Ragnarok, and of course before Infinity War and all that. I could be wrong of when I heard the news, but I just remembered being not super interested in it. And then I also heard about Owen Wilson being in it. And then at the time, Owen Wilson was like in this, he was not in Hollywood. He was not doing anything. And I have a clip that I'll show of me talking about the Marvel slates. If you want to see that whole video, it'll be linked in the description, because there's going to be stuff coming out that I talked about in that video, and you'll be able to see it. And I'm always going to reference it for any of the Disney Plus or Disney or Marvel things that I do and I commented on. I'm just going to go back to that video and kind of look at what I said. So check that out if you want. Loki. So Loki was cool at first, right? I mean, he was like the best villain. But now he has all this baggage. Like, he doesn't work well without Thor. Thor and him have a great connection. Who's he going to have a great connection with now? Owen Wilson? Owen Wilson's never had a great connection with anyone. I don't know who this Loki show is for, but it's not for me. Stupid. And when I started watching the show, to be honest, I checked it out because I just heard a lot of people talking about it, and like some buzz was going on about it. So I decided to give it a shot. I don't really remember watching the trailer. Like, I don't remember watching it and like trying to analyze what's going to happen. I don't think I really cared that much, to be honest with you. So the first episode just caught me so off guard. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. I think I kind of knew something about the time thing, that there was going to be some time element because of, you know, you see an Endgame with him taking the cube and him going away. That really stuck out to me in the movie when I saw it, because of course I guess it's supposed to stick out to you, but it really was like, okay, where'd Loki go, you know? And of course this answers the question of where Loki went. The first episode is really good. I think it's my favorite episode of the whole series, just because it has this fun energy to it, and it has this look, you know. I think it probably was my favorite and left the most mark or impression on me because it was unexpected. And to have Tom Hiddleston be that funny, to see that fucking those abs and that chest, dude, man, he was like, I bet he was really working out hard for like a while to get just that one shot. Because I don't know if old Tommy is that toned all the time. I mean, you get one shot and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna have some cheeseburgers and stuff. I'm not gonna keep this ripped body the whole time. It had some funny stuff and some clever stuff. And you know, you get the TVA, you get Miss Minutes, I think that's her name, and you get like the animation. You get this whole like deep dive into the multiverse. Well, not the multiverse, but like you get like you figure out the timeline stuff, and the timeline thing is really cool and really interesting, and that's like the best part of the show. I mentioned it in the Falcon and Winter Soldier review. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has set up these scenarios specific to themselves, where they can have these fun and interesting stories and concepts that I really enjoy. Like what Falcon and Winter Soldier, it was set in the world post-blip, so they had this whole immigration thing, and like, you know, societies had like kind of moved different places and merged together, and now people showed back up and they have to kick these people out. And it's kind of an interesting scenario to look at, and it's only specific to the Marvel Universe, and they had that in a whole spy background. Well, in Loki, now you've introduced time travel in Endgame, and now you introduce the multiverse and time travel in Loki, which leads into a whole new slew of things that's going to happen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that I'm super duper excited for. My main gripe with Loki, but also not a real super gripe, is that it's episodic. Obviously, it comes out, you get one episode every week, and that kind of stretched the characters a little bit for me, because I can't, like, they give you the recap, right, of, where we were when we left off, but I just feel like seeing them go through the story uninterrupted, like if I could have binged watched this like 3 or 4 episodes and then 3 or 4 episodes, or even just straight through. I mean, it would be a long day, but you could do it. I just feel like it would flow so much better, like, because you get female Loki, Sylvie, and you see her and you see Tom Hiddleston, or Loki. I forgot it was his character's name. It's the name of the show. You see their relationship kind of grow and blossom, and you kind of forget how intimate they are in certain parts of the show, because it's kind of detached. Like when episode 4 or 5, they're like really close, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. They're actually like supposed to be really close. Like they're getting into like love interest territory for each other, but you kind of forgot you forgot their connection, but it was there. It's just been a week since you saw it. Like if you watch that whole thing through, I feel like you'd probably see their love story or connect with them as characters better than if you had to watch it every week, because you just kind of so much shit happens during your week. You forget of little character moments that they had. So that was kind of, because I never really felt their relationship was that intimate, but of course they have their kiss at the end. They're like smoochy, and it was a nice and tender moment, and I enjoyed that. They have their look. They look at each other very longingly, and we're gonna die, and that was a good emotional moment. But I just feel like it would have flowed and been so much better if I could have watched it all together. But at the same time, and this is not even a criticism of the show or anything, this is just a criticism of life. It was nice to have episodes come out each week for this reason, the reason that I'm about to say, that I gave me something to look forward to. I could look forward to Wednesdays, and if there's going to be a Loki episode, I can watch it, and then the next day at work I can listen to, because I can listen to stuff at work. I listen to, like some people breaking it down, and they watch the show, they give their review and the Easter eggs, and then that was a nice little thing to help me during the week of like, here's some more Loki lore I can look into, some more multiverse shit I can look into. So yeah, that was a good part of it. I like that. So before I forget, I want to mention the music. I really, really dig the music in this, especially the opening theme, the Loki theme. I think it's really great. It just sometimes I can hear it in my head, and I enjoyed it. I think it was really great. I don't know who the composer was, but they did a good job. It's good. A lot of the cinematography is very interesting. It's very dynamic. They keep things moving. There's like a cool spiral shot that I remember in one episode when it opens. In the final episode, there's a cool shot of like the universe, of them like going past the universe, and of course that's not cinematography. That wasn't done in camera, obviously. But they probably planned it out, and he drew a storyboard of make it go like this, and that's cool. It's some good visuals. Sometimes the CGI is a bit Phantom Menace-y. They're on that meteor planet that shit's just crashing down everywhere, and it looks a bit like that the perspective is kind of weird, it's very green screeny, and I'm like, okay, that kind of doesn't look that good. It just looks like all green screen, like Phantom Menace. But the scenes were actual, they're actually filming and everything. It's really good. So to talk about characters and performance, Sylvie, the girl who plays her, I don't know her name, I'm sorry, Tom Hiddleston, and Owen Wilson, they are the standouts. They are really great. They fucking kill it. Especially Owen Wilson. I think he's like my favorite part of the show. I wish he was in the whole thing. I forgot how good Owen Wilson can be. I guess he was so good that I was looking up I was looking on Netflix, like Owen Wilson. I typed that in, and I was like, what movies is he in that I can watch that I can get some more Owen Wilson action, because he's really great in this. He's the perfect character for this. I felt like they just they probably I don't know if they wrote the role just for him, but they cast him, and then they saw what he was doing with it, and then it just morphed into Owen Wilson, because I feel like he's kind of just playing himself. Very snappy, very witty dialogue. I really like the direction his character and Loki go in together. Mobius is his name. And it was great. I hope we see him in some more MCU movies because I want to see him on that jet ski, man. He's got to get on that jet ski at some point. Okay, since this is a series review, I'm going to wrap it up and talk about the ending of the series and what that means for like the MCU and going forward. I think it's kind of split. I've been seeing a lot of things on Twitter about people are kind of split on the ending of this. I don't know how I feel about it. I wanted a better ending, like that really wraps this up, and then they could go into a season 2 at some point. But this really is like just a cliffhanger of an ending, which I'm not super fond of, because I thought that this was going to be a huge landmark for the MCU of like, okay, Nexus event, the sacred timeline is destroyed. So now shit's going crazy. What's going to happen? What are we going to do? And I thought that there would be some hint or something that would push us towards what is actually going to happen and how the ending of Loki is going to affect the rest of the MCU. But we really don't know, and there's really no way of knowing how it's going to affect it until we see it, I guess. Like, we can speculate, the guy at the end of time, Kang, possibly Kang, the Conqueror, a variant of the guy we saw, is going to be kind of the bad guy, like the next Thanos. I hope so, because I feel like when you get to this point, the multiverse kind of thing can really be, like, this guy is very powerful. He can be a super powerful guy. Like, he can even beat, like, he can go up against Thanos as far as, like, how strong this guy could be, potentially be, because, I mean, he can master time. I think it's cool how they set up Kang, like, with his backstory is pretty cool. So in the 31st century, he's like just a scientist, and he comes up with multiverse, and he's actually able to, I think he makes that device, the time bracelet, whatever. He actually develops it, and then he can make time portals, and he can go through time portals to different dimensions and different realities. And then he realizes, oh shit, there's lots of shit that's happening and going crazy. So he ends up somehow, through the Alioth monster thing, figuring out a way to, like, I guess, prune people, which I still hate that that's what it's called, prune. Like, why is it called pruning people? I think of, like, every time they say, he's going to prune me, I just picture, like, a wrinkly prune in my head, and I don't like that image. But yeah, you see the implications of this. This guy could be pretty massive, a pretty massive threat to the MCU. So this is be the last thing that I talk about. It's going to go beyond the Loki review. So I guess I'll go ahead and rate it. I think I'll give Loki a 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. There's some parts in the middle that kind of drag, but also I really like the dialogue and the conversations that these characters have. I like the implications of where this is going to go. A lot of the humor really worked for me. The characters were good. Pretty solid show. I can't really find anything that was just offensive or that I just didn't like about it. Overall enjoyable. So yeah, an 8 out of 10. I don't know what I gave the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I did like that one, but I mean, Loki is probably the best of them. I have not seen all of WandaVision yet. I've started watching it. I'm on episode 3 now, but I haven't finished it. But this is definitely the best one so far. If I gave the Falcon and Winter Soldier an 8, I probably would bump it down to a 7.5. Even though I enjoyed it, I think I enjoyed this one more. And I don't know why you have to bump one thing down and move and keep one thing. And that's just how I'm just trying to rank them in my head. Yeah. So there's the rating. So here's the last thing. What does this mean for the MCU? So here's my final thing. How important are these shows for you to see? Disney Plus, this show, Loki, is beyond a paywall for Disney Plus. This doesn't come out in theaters where you go see it and then you can pick up on the story, right? And there's things in WandaVision, I guess, that will also become a factor in the MCU. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'm not sure what can come out of that. But this multiverse, this Nexus event of the multiverse just exploding is going to have serious implications for the whole MCU. So I just wonder how that's going to be integrated into the actual movie storyline. Because we know Spider-Man is going to have some multiverse characters. We speculate. I think it's pretty much confirmed at this point. that there's going to be multiple Spider-Man. Doctor Strange, the fucking name of the movie is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So there's definitely going to be multiverse things in that. But is Loki going to be a small part of those movies? Like, oh, Doctor Strange is going to show up and Loki's going to show up and explain, like, hey, you know, some shit's gone down. I don't know what to do. And then Doctor Strange is going to be like, is it going to be explained in the Doctor Strange movie? That's what I'm getting at. And I think the Spider-Man movie is actually before that. So what's going to happen in the Spider-Man movie to where there's going to be multiple Spider-Men? Is it going to have any mention of Loki? Are they just going to kind of show up? Who's the bad guy of Spider-Man? Far From Home, right? No, that's this. What's the name of the movie? God damn it, I don't even remember. The third Spider-Man movie. Who's the bad guy? And what's going to happen with the Spider-Man? How is it going to integrate? I have those. This is the serious question. Is Loki necessary viewing for this multiverse thing? He's at the center of it. He's the cause of this. So are they going to reference that? I'm just ready to see that. That's my thing. That's my last thought. So guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, leave a like, comment, all that stuff. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm right. What did you think of Loki? Was it good? Loki was pretty good. All right. Bye.